So, you got your stimulus check. Good old Uncle Sam just gave you $1,200 for free. No questions asked. And $500 per child. Not bad. These kids are finally good for something. Now the question here is, how are you going to spend it? What are your options here? In this video, we will talk about the options you have and what you should do with it. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money or what to do with it. That's none of my business. Like many other YouTube videos that you currently see, where they're telling you to do this and do that with your money. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to tell you what I am doing with my money and what other Americans are planning on doing with their money, or what they're currently doing with their money. Now, let's be honest here. A lot of us are struggling right now. Unlike many other welfare states around the world, where they're giving $2,000 a month to their citizens. Yeah, Canada, I'm looking at you. Now in US, the rule is very simple. You work, you get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid. Now in these tough situations, when you get handed $1,200, what are you going to do? Are you going to go out and buy a 75-inch TV? Or are you going to spend the money on your rent or utilities? It all comes down to your priorities. In my humble opinion, I would recommend starting a savings account. That's what I'm planning on doing. Now, hear me out for a second. I know you're saying that we're barely getting by, and you're telling us to put money in the savings account. We need this money. I completely understand you. But now, back it up several weeks before this whole situation, before the stimulus check was handed to you. How were you making things work at that time? You had some sort of way. You figured out a way to, pay your utilities, pay your rent. You figured out a way to somehow get through, right? Now, all I'm saying is just make that work for a couple more weeks. The country is going to open up. The jobs will be restored, and plus right now, the government is doing pretty much a decent job right now. They're going to give us enough time to get back on our feet. If you look at your utility bills right now, a lot of them are, the notices are suspended. Your healthcare coverage is going fine. There's no interruption in any of this thing that's coming from your state or the federal or the state government. So they are doing what they can. So this will help us to get back on our feet. So all I'm saying is just make it work for a couple more weeks. That's it. Now, why am I saying to start a savings account? Because according to some surveys, 28% of Americans have no emergency savings. So if something was to happen, they have no rainy day money. And 55% of Americans have less than $500 in their account. And only 10% of Americans claim that if something was to happen, they can live off of their savings for 6 months max. Only 10% have claimed that they can survive. The 83% cannot. Now, why is that? Why 83% of Americans cannot save? Why they don't have any rainy day savings? Because most of us work paycheck to paycheck. Our bills are lined up before we even get paid. And by the time we're done paying our bills, we barely have any money left for food or some luxuries. So you can't even think about saving money or opening a savings account for that matter. Now what this $1,200 can do, it gives you the kickstart that you need. Put something in there. Put 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 1,200, whatever. Put something in there. Give yourself a start. Because I personally believe that we are not going to get a better chance than this to start saving. Now, let's talk about what other Americans are doing with their money. It's mind-boggling how diversely we're spending our money. It's just completely mind-blowing. You will see when I share the stats with you. Now, because I think the reason why everybody is very diversely spending it is because we have different spending habits. Our priorities are different. everybody has something else that they want to spend the money on. Not everybody's situation is cookie cut. So let's take a look at these research that we have got so far. It's not completely done yet because these checks are still coming in. So it's not completely concluded, but it will give you some sort of idea as to where currently what people are doing and what you should do. So let's go check it out, shall we? Now let's take a look at this chart here. 27% of the money is going towards takeout food and deliveries. So Uber Eats, DoorDash, all these seamless services. 14% of the money is going towards savings, which is a good thing in my opinion. 13% of the spending is going towards gaming and streaming services. 15% of the money towards rent or mortgage. Another 14% towards gas and diesel. So I'm assuming people are filling up their tanks. That's the first thing I would do as well. 4% towards clothing and footwear. And about 13% towards ATM withdrawals. So you can't really tell where they're spending the money when they're withdrawing it. And some people have reported that they have bought dildos, stripper pole, and costumes for fun. So it's really hard to tell, as I said, where this money is going and how diversified our spendings are. After looking at these numbers, you can clearly see that our priorities are very different. Our spending habits do not match. We all have our own set of problems. Now the question lies with you. Are you going to go out and buy sex toys or Xbox? Or are you going to spend your money to something useful or maybe put it in a savings account? Like I said earlier, I'm not going to tell you what you should do with your money. You are the boss of it. I have nothing to do with it. I was just here to share my opinion and some data to show you what others, including myself, are doing. This is Fahd Suleiman signing off. Please be safe and be courteous to others. Till next time. Bye.